Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Dayton Drama Queens. I'm Josh Stucky.
I'm Philip Drennen.
And we want to say thank you, as always, for sticking with us. We've got so many surprises coming up. I won't get into it because my mouth keeps running and it's ruining everything.
You're keeping a surprise. This is actually...
It's difficult, but I'm doing it. We have a very special guest with us today you talk about somebody that's done every form of art, I'm telling you. Andrew Mitakides is with us.
Pleasure being here.
Thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So let's get right into it. I know you've done talk shows. I know you've done Shakespeare. I know you've done theater. How did this all get started for you? Like as a little kid, is that where it all came from? Or
So the 30-second story is my father was a dentist in town for 45 years.
Okay.
And the deal was I was supposed to go to college and take over the practice. So I get there. I go to college in Virginia. It's a beautiful school called Hampton-Sydney. And I get there, and it turns out I can't do inorganic chemistry. So I'm in the class, and he's yielding an equation on the board, and I look down, and there's blood coming out of my nose. True story. And I look at my friend Gordon. I'm like, this is my brain shutting down.
Right.
This is it.
I cannot do it.
So I stand up and I said, Dr. Peterson, I'm out of here. Without turning around, he goes, all right, Hollywood, bye.
Oh, wow.
My nickname for years. And I walked out and I walked straight over to my current college advisor named Shirley Kagan. I could call her to this day. She's like an absolute sweetheart. I walk into her office and she is about 5'2", curly like hair. She's a self-proclaimed. She's like, I'm a Jew from Brooklyn that happened to like theater. I'm like, okay, Shirley. I walk into her office and she goes, thank God you're here. And I'm like, how do you know me? She goes, I've been seeing you walk around campus. Please, God, be in my show, which was Macbeth. Come full circle.
Yes.
So, but yeah, no, I hadn't really done. I didn't do college drama in high school. I did a couple things when I was a kid, but no, nothing really till I got to college.
Interesting. Okay.
And then you had your own talk show.
I did call it Gem City Tonight.
Gem City Tonight.
Very Johnny Carson, Jimmy Fallon kind of thing.
I remember that.
Yeah,
Tell us a little bit about that. How did that go? What was the highlights? All those kinds of things.
So as you had mentioned, I've done everything except mime. But hey, day ain't over yet.
I was gonna say, wait a minute.
There's still time.
So I did a little bit of morning stuff in Virginia Beach, and I had a TV show that was on the Travel Channel, and then I've done the news, I've done the weather.
Yeah. It's been all over the place.
Yeah, it's been a lot. So I came back to Dayton because my father was ill, and I'm like, there's got to be like a late night feel. Like this is just when like carpool karaoke had started taking off, and like the games on Jimmy Fallon, and it really it was like in the zeitgeist of people's things, like because they loved Colbert, and then Seth Conan O'Brien had just changed formats, and I'm like, I kind of feel like late night's the place to be.
Yeah.
So we started Gem City Tonight. I got a hold of DATV. And I guess the guy who did their late night show for years, I think he interviewed Noah when he got off the ark. He passed. And like I was like, what if I took it back over? And they were like, sure. So we did it. And I will say this because she will watch this. The first 5 or 6 episodes, you were talking about when things really kind of were just, the guests that came on, they were clearly lower quality production. We hadn't found our groove. We hadn't gotten the band yet. I hadn't had the
it takes a second. Yeah.
It took a sec. But then my wife came on board.
Okay.
As an executive producer. But then she was just helping. This woman, so right now she's probably in the parking lot. She knows both your blood types. She knows where Hoff is buried. And she knows who killed Kennedy. She can find out anything. So she's booking guests. We're getting, and then all of a sudden, bam, COVID hit.
Oh, God.
So it was weird blessing in disguise. Like I got to interview the lead singer of my favorite band, Cody Canada. So people were stuck in their houses. But then we came back. It just wasn't the same because we had an audience. We had like 60 people in the audience.
Yeah. I remember this. Yeah.
So it was very, but yeah, it just kind of went to the wayside. And we were thinking of doing a final season because since then I have a couple little ones. We got married.
Yeah.
So
It all changed.
Life changed. But yeah.
Changed.
So yeah, but like I said, I've done everything. I've been the voice of Optimus Prime and Batman for cartoons and video games.
Very cool.
For years I did. So today's your first day at Barnes & Noble. You're a valued member of our team. Welcome as we get you started on your first. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. Hey,
Did it pay the bills?
I was going to say, you got to pay the bills.
I have been in enough horror films. For some reason, I give the vibe that I'm the sheriff in town that doesn't believe the kids that there's like a murderer on the loose. And I've worn the same khaki khaki uniform for like 3 things, but our county doesn't have enough money to buy a cop car or badges or a gun. Yeah,
Can relate.
I did like 5 of those in a row, and I'm like, can I just keep the outfit? Are we good? Thanks.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yep.
So now you're in the Groundlings. Tell us about this, because
Shakespeare, something that's just always been.
So Shakespeare being my first real forte
Yeah.
into theater, I double majored in theater and music. Shakespeare was my focus, and then I just kind of found myself gravitating back towards like summer stocks in like Virginia, in Syracuse, and all these other places, and just performing Shakespeare.
Yeah.
And I just finished my master's in classical acting from the Shakespeare Theater Academy from George Washington University.
wow, that's amazing.
Yep, I have 2.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I have 2 Shakespeare tattoos. I'm that big of a dork. Because I for all the years that I was doing stuff, when you're an actor, you're kind of always something else until you make it. And yes, I was a bartender. Yes, I was a waiter.
Yeah.
But I was also a golf pro, because you could golf in the day and then act at night. Up until recently, when simulators hadn't really taken over,
Yeah.
you could.
Yeah, that's true.
There wasn't golfing at night,
That's
so I would do that. So I had kind of morphed into being a golf pro in town at the base, and I looked at my wife and I was like, I think I'm bored. And she goes, "You like golf. You love Shakespeare." So I got into the program.
She is a smart lady.
She's everything front office. Trust me, this whole theater wouldn't happen without her. So anyway, I did the program, and she was super supportive. I drove back almost every weekend from DC because I found out I got into the program. Then 24 hours later, we found out she was pregnant.
Wow.
So we were like, "What do we do?"
Yeah.
And I have a beautiful 7 and 6-year-old, and she was like, "I'd rather have 2 mobile than 3 mobile. Go." So she was super supportive, and I got back here, and she goes, "Great. Now that you're great, get your back to Dayton."
Yeah.
And I did. And I got a hold of the Shakespeare Theater Association of America, and I'm like, there's got to be Shakespeare in Dayton. This is such a vibrant town for
Right.
arts,
Right.
and
Yeah,
it's such
yeah.
a hub and everything. Nope.
No.
So I got a hold of the executive director for the Shakespeare Theater Association of America, who just so happens to live in Oxford.
Oh.
I go down and have coffee with him, and he goes, I'm like, what do I do to get Shakespeare in Dayton? He goes, give me $100 and fill out this application.
Wow.
And I did. Then we had a bank account. Then I had a lecture series, which I partnered with the Dayton Metro Library about
Yes.
talking a month about the themes of everything. And then I look up, and they were like, well, we should really do a season. I was like, okay. I looked around, like, holy do I have a theater?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I own a theater.
Yes.
So she and I are the co-founders of the Gem City Groundlings. Groundlings is actually, for those playing the home game.
Yeah.
It is the ones that Shakespeare wrote that in the Globe would pay a penny or a farthing and be on the ground. They were the drunk ones. They were the rowdy ones.
I see.
They are the
I see.
ground.
Thank you. I was
Thanks.
like, what does that mean? So
Yep.
now I get it.
So,
Okay.
so obviously Dayton being the Gem City, we're called the Gem City Groundlings because what we're doing is demystifying the language of Shakespeare.
Okay.
After 451 years, it is this, people think it is this lofty mythological language that nobody gets a hold of. But it's not. It's written for everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a turn of a phrase and there's
Sure.
things that, a cream-faced loon, you're like, what?
Yeah. Well, people are intimidated by Shakespeare.
Yes.
They really are. It's like this.
Well, and it's different sitting there and reading it and trying to interpret it yourself, and as opposed to watching somebody who has already interpreted the words.
It was meant to be performed.
Right.
So doing it in English class, you're just sitting there reading it, and it's common where people go, I don't get it.
Yeah.
But if you get it on its feet, because there's no stage direction in Shakespeare, there's no subtext in
Right.
Shakespeare.
Yeah.
All the characters tell you what they're going to do. Like Iago in Othello looks dead into the audience and goes, "Come on, I'm not the villain.
Yeah.
You're
Right.
with me, right? You're with me." And you're like, "Okay,
Yeah.
I get it."
No, I get it.
Hamlet absolutely just looks at us and goes, "To be or not to be?" That is the question. And we go along the ride with him.
Yeah.
So we're bringing it down. The production we're going to be doing of Macbeth, and then everything we do kind of moving forward for our season is going to be modern dress, basic minimalistic set, but focus on the language and focus on the fighting. We're starting.
That's so good. That's a gift
Yeah.
to people.
Yeah.
Really, it is.
Yeah. So we want you to be able to, and we're not doing accents. We're not putting on airs.
Okay.
We're not doing anything. It's
Yeah.
going to be literally, I'll be talking like this. Is this a dagger which I see before me? The handle towards my hand? Come, let me clutch thee.
Yeah.
So it's going to be, you're going to go, oh, okay. I get it. I there's a difference between people who know that a joke is coming and being able to be laughed all the way through.
Right, that's a good point.
And whether it's through expression and movement or subtlety, we're definitely going to focus. Like I said, it's modern dress. Basically, give us swords, take away cell phones.
Okay.
Same kind of idea.
Large group. Do you have a large group that are making up the theater? Or is it?
So the only people that own the theater are myself and my wife.
Okay.
We have an amazing board of local artists and
good.
talent and friends that I know that are supportive in the town.
Yeah.
But so for this production of Macbeth, we have doubling. So people will play multiple characters,
Okay.
except Lady M and myself. And then we're going to do Comedy of Errors in the fall, in the winter show. And we're going to set it in like the 60s. So think like Halston gowns and things
Oh,
like
I
that.
love
So
that.
yeah.
Yeah, you are.
Great.
I know what I'm doing. But we do one on, one off. So the next show we're going to be doing, we're partnering with the Dayton Art Institute. They're fantastic and have been great people for us. We're going to be doing a show called A Steady Rain. It's 2 people. It's 2 Chicago cops. So I get to talk like this for like an hour and a half. I'm totally fine with that.
That's great.
And then at some point, like I'm going to step away, like any other theater, any good business, as you would know. Like it's once the ball is rolling, you're like, great, keep on going.
Yeah.
You just check in. So then we're going to do God of Carnage, which is a great 4-person show, kind of like Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. Then we take a break. So our season is a little bit different than the Dayton theater season or normal theater seasons.
Yeah.
We're starting in the summer and we get light in the winter. I love that. The Human Race and the Guild and the Schuster, they're all doing the big stuff, the Grinch. But I promise you, and I'm saying it here now, and it's recorded, I'm not doing A Christmas Carol. I'm not doing it.
We are.
I'm not doing it. You can. I'm not doing it. Yeah. I'm not doing it. But then we come back and then we take a break and then come back for our 26th season with Titus Andronicus, which is, thank God we have a blood budget.
I remember they made that a movie.
Yeah, Titus.
I remember that. Yeah,
And As You Like It. So a little bit of laughter, a little bit of blood.
Yeah.
So it's like I said, the theater's right. So even the setting for this, we've set it in a thrust, so it's it's 3 sides, and I only made it 90 seats. Because I want it to be intimate. I want when Lady M and I have that discussion if we should kill Duncan. I want it to be literally we would be this close. If you're the audience, that's it. And that's how it should be because that's what it was written for.
And you'll be at the Glass. Right?
Yes, we'll be at the brand new Roger Glass Center. We're the first performing arts theater company to come in that isn't UD affiliated. Yeah. So I actually had to sit down with the lawyers and be like, so what do we do? And the lawyers literally go,
Yeah.
what? So we basically outlined everything, and they're like, no fire, no guns. And I'm like, okay, cool. I don't think there's a lot of that.
Crazy.
I don't think
That is easy.
I think we're good.
Yeah, and it's such a beautiful place.
It is. It's stunning.
stunning,
And the
yes.
staff and the facilities director and the university has been just welcoming and so cool. And the students have been very vibrant to the idea.
Oh, good.
So we made
Good.
sure that the sound, lighting, that's all student directed.
That's
I
great.
wanted them. I want them to be a part of it. And I'm lucky enough that they want me to come on and be an adjunct for the fall. So I'm going to be directing Much Ado About Nothing for them, which we're setting in the late 80s, early 90s. So
That's fun too.
yeah. So because it's right at that time, and I hate to say this, but it's vintage to them.
Right.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I know.
So starter jackets and Walkmans and Who Say by the Bell, but they love it.
Yeah.
And they're
I was thinking that the other day. I saw a kid. He had to be in high school. He had a Nirvana T-shirt on.
Yep.
And I was like, he wasn't born when Nirvana. He wasn't born, when Kurt Cobain was alive. But that would have been like me in high school wearing like a Beatles shirt or something like that. But that's so crazy that time period is now vintage. To
I think I read something there. If Marty McFly went back in time today, he'd only go back to 1995.
Oh my
Ooh.
God.
Yeah.
That hurts.
Weekend at Bernie's is on Turner Classic Movies.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yes.
It's absolutely crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I've been watching the Godfather trilogy, and I just think to myself, when I was young, I thought this movie was forever old. And now that I'm
right.
old, it's like, how old is this freaking movie?
Yeah.
So good, though.
crazy.
Amazing stuff. I think it's incredible what you're doing for Shakespeare. I know this was, there was some Shakespeare that was going on in South Park's historic district that was outdoor Shakespeare. And I remember the accessibility didn't seem like what you're doing, which is really bringing it to people on a plate that they can easily take from. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of that highbrow, and you're like, people aren't getting what's going on in this whatever. I'm glad that you're doing what you're doing. It's going to be amazing for our town.
It's language for everybody, and I love that South Park does what they do. They show up. It's like
They do.
Brigadoon. They show up once.
Yes.
They do a production. They go away.
Yes.
I know there's a troupe kind of north of town, Huber Heights. They're a self-proclaimed troupe. They do some outdoor stuff. It's community
Yes.
theater, and I've offered services to both. I mean, it's everyone's language, and that's
Yeah.
how it should. But this is the first time they're paid actors. I have DC people coming in for the performance.
My gosh.
I hire what's 3 tiers, so I hire all over the country. Then I'll hire 90 miles, and then I hire dead local.
Nice.
So just to give everyone a taste of the outside performance, the level of professionalism, and we foster and nurture that within the artists that stay here and create and go to other. I'd send you out into the world,
Yeah,
so it
yeah.
doesn't matter where you go. Yeah.
So outside of doing Shakespeare, is there anything you see? Like, would you get into the regular stage stuff, Broadway stuff, any of that kind of stuff that appeals to you, or is it you found your lane?
No, I'll do. So we do one on, one off. So I'll do anything. My wife is begging me to do Chicago, which I.
Oh my God, we were just talking about
Yeah.
Chicago.
Yeah,
Yes.
which is coming up in one of the local theaters here, which is great.
Yes.
I was curly in Oklahoma, the national. There's a bright golden haze on the meadow.
Get
Oh,
it.
yeah. But yeah, no, and I'm down for like noises off. I'm down for I'm really anything that puts butts in seats, because it's after being in DC.
Bingo. Yeah.
After being in DC, there was such a call for non-politicalized Shakespeare, theater, like theater that doesn't have a message. Just go. I want to have dinner with the wife, dinner
Right.
with
Yeah.
the partner, go out and see it, have fun,
Yeah.
and just go home. I don't want to be preached at. I don't want to be
Yeah.
talked to.
Yeah.
Like there's a real call. Like they're reviving. A lot of Sondheim. Like that's why I think Wicked has made a huge comeback. I mean, I love the fact that people just want to go
Yeah.
and be entertained.
Yeah.
Right.
True.
Yeah.
True.
And so I'm really open to anything.
Well, that's good.
So yeah.
We need more of that. In
Well,
Dayton, Ohio.
you know, there is kind of a lot of theater in Dayton too, so it's nice that you know, you have a voice that is going to be specific to you, and so that people can say, okay, if I want this type of evening, I can go to this show, or you know, the option is there, so it's not just like a bunch of people just kind of trying to
Yeah.
fight for the same voice or the same spotlight. It's nice to have, you know, something new.
And,
something
I
interesting.
think that in the audition process, I just think about Shakespeare. Because if I go to audition for a show, I don't feel any like, and like I was saying, that intimidation factor. You're making it like you're chill. It's good. We're all right, guys. You can do this.
Just to give you an idea, our pre-show music includes Adele, the Beastie Boys,
nice.
Phil Collins.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna sit there and be like, okay, what am I sitting like? Like I said, we're in modern dress.
Yeah.
And the setting is intimate. It's because it's your language. It's
Yeah.
your show, and that's how it should be.
That's
I mean,
great.
there's a time for a place and a doublet and a skull in the spotlight.
Yeah.
This ain't it.
Yeah. That's really great. And I know working with UD, which we've been talking about, kind of like doing that foray as well. Working with UD, I think it's good for them, you know, the actual university, because they are looking to build a musical theater program and
Yeah.
all this kind of things. This is kind of like timely.
Yeah, I've definitely been able to talk to some of the faculty. They want to make it a destination where people come to get their theater degree.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's great. Right Satan Town produces
Of course.
fantastic theater.
Of course.
Yeah.
I saw you had Joe Deere on, near and dear to my heart. He was at our soft launch. I love Joe Deere.
Great man.
And he's been super supportive. But UD's also like, hi, we're here too.
Yes.
And
exactly.
I'm happy to drop any inkling of anything to make a ripple for them. And I think Shakespeare's a fun way to do it, because I mean, after almost 500 years, we're still talking about him.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Now, is your wife into the arts at all, or is she?
My wife doesn't go to theater.
Oh, really?
She loves Chicago. She actually went to Wright State.
Okay,
English
okay.
major. So we have a bunch of. She's a Jane Eyre. She's a Bronte sister.
One of those.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So we have like 60 copies of Jane Eyre, and we have like 50 copies of Macbeth.
gosh.
But she's all things front office. She's the social media, the branding, all the stuff that I go, hi, why don't people know where I'm here? And they're like,
Yes.
because you haven't done. She's like, just go over there. I'll go over here. She's
Yeah.
everything behind the scenes, front, like.
Well, you have to have that. I
Yeah.
mean, or you don't exist.
Yeah,
in
it's
this day and
it's
age.
such a beautiful balance, and I'm so lucky that I found a partner that is like, we get it. You go be the star. I'll make sure that you're the star.
Yeah.
Right,
Well, and
exactly.
speaking of that, so if we want to follow you on
Oh,
Instagram,
yes.
Facebook, how do we find you, and how do we keep up to date with these amazing shows?
It's Gem City Groundlings, all one word. obviously Dayton's the Gem City, Groundlings is a Shakespeare thing. We have Instagram, we have a website. We are still always looking for partnerships. Like, luckily, thank you so much.
Sure.
We have luckily
Ruby Girls.
partnering with the
Yes.
Ruby Girls.
Yes, yes.
But I want it to be local. I actually had somebody non-local approach me for a sponsorship, and I was like, "Yeah, but you're not going to come to the shows."
Yeah,
Right.
we go through that all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want you here. So
It's
yeah,
hard.
so Instagram, Facebook, the website. Just like any nonprofit, we're looking for donations.
Yes.
But we're looking for the conversation.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about our lecture series, because we do Power and Politics, the Lovers, like we do one each month with the Dayton Metro Library. I actually go into prisons and do Shakespeare behind bars. I
Wow.
do correctional
That's
institutions
cool.
and stuff like that. So we need funding for that.
Yeah.
As well as paying the artists and so forth to keep it professional, because I want to make sure that everyone is appreciated and valued
Yeah.
as we give it back to you. So
For sure.
any of those things, if you just Google Gem City Groundlings, you'll probably see my mug on something.
Well, thank you so much for being with us.
No,
today.
it's an
Thank
absolute
you.
pleasure.
20 minutes was a great conversation.
Yeah, I'm excited.
And I
to see
chatted,
the
but
show.
Me
I
too.
talked
We're
most
very
of it. My
no,
wife's like,
that's
"You
what we-
never shut up."
That's
We
the
want you to talk.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
all
they
right.
know about us already.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you again.
No, thank you.
Listen, everybody, we want to thank Square One Salon for being our major sponsor. We want to thank Tyler and Mitosis, all the work they've done to make sure Dayton Drama Queens is successful. We'll see you next time. I'm Josh Stucky.
I'm Philip Drennen. Thank
Bye,
you so
everybody.
much. Bye bye.